हरि ओम। ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। ब्रह्म सूत्र Shankara Bhashya is what we are studying. The surprising aspect of study of Brahma Sutra is we are trying to study the Brahma Sutra, the phalam of which is Brahma Anubhava, and yet it is completely different than the experiences we have had so far. In other words, whatever experience we have had so far in our umpteen number of births, nothing is comparable to Brahmanubhava. Now, this creates lots of difficulties. An experience that has never been experienced is being studied for the experience. And on the top of it, it is told that this experience of Brahmanubhava has nothing parallel in the experiences of this world. Being in the world, we have been transfixed into a concept that there is an experiencer, there is a thing to be experienced, and there is a process of experience. This is our usual way of taking experience or anubhava. And on this basis, there could be laws, regulations, books, knowledge, science, engineering, mathematics. All these are based on this. Some research scientist observed a bacteria using a microscope and told us that there is an experiential knowledge of bacteria provided this is done. We also then followed suit, studied it, and actually experienced what he experienced under the microscope by seeing the bacteria. In other words, everything that is there as a knowledge or experience in this world is tied to observations made on an object. See, our knowledge is entirely dependent on subject-object relationship. There has to be an object in front of me. Then only I can get a knowledge out of it. And from the object, I observe the object through my indriyas and come to some conclusion. This drawing the conclusion utilizes certain methods called pramana. Suppose there is a person called Pradeepji standing in front of me. It is a pratyaksha pramana that he's standing in front of me. So my knowledge that he is Pradeepji is pratyaksha pramanam. But if we deeply observe anything, we will realize that all the pramanas are ultimately getting resolved into anumana pramana. How anumana pramana when you have a pratyaksham there? In pratyaksham also, we draw conclusions. Pradeep ji is a human being. This conclusion came to me because since he is standing on 2 feet, has 2 legs, 2 hands, and eyes and ears, and this and that, that is why he is a human being. It's an inference drawn. So in the experiential world or our universe, everything seems to be coming to a conclusion through inference or anuman. All other arthapatti, upamana, anupalabdhi, all this can be resolved into anuman only. That is why Nyaya Shastra doesn't go beyond anuman. Inference is what we keep drawing in this world. All these scientists in the world, all research people in the world are all involved in drawing inferences. A mathematician, even if he's of the caliber, or a physicist is of the caliber of Einstein or Niels Bohr or Schrödinger or whatever, they do what is called as thought experiment or mathematical formulation. It's all based on if this is this, then this can be this, and this, so this is this. The inferential system is to come to a conclusion based on the observations of the object. There is a fire on the mountain because there is a smoke there, and whenever smoke is there, there is fire as observed in the kitchen. So there is a fire at the mountain. Fire is not seen. So unknown, unseen thing is concluded through inference by taking the help of observation of the mountain. Observation of the mountain. The mountain in this case is called Paksha. On the mountain, we are trying to conclude that there is a fire on the mountain. Fire is not seen. It is to be concluded. It is to be inferred upon. Anuman. So the sadhya is Agni, on which it is proved is called Paksha, is mountain. What makes us or prompts us to think that there is Agni? Smoke. So smoke is the Karana or the Hetu. And how smoke and fire are related? Because there is when there was a smoke in the kitchen, I saw the fire. So there is a Drishtanta. So on the Paksha, Sadhya is proved by using the Hetu, supplementing it with the Drishtanta. That means a thing is observed, previous experienced thing is juxtaposed to it, and a new conclusion or the same conclusion or desired conclusion is formed. This is the process of inference or inferential knowledge in the world that we live in. All the knowledge of this world is on the similar lines. Even all the Nobel Prize discoveries are also observations of phenomena or object, then drawing conclusions out of it and proving it. The important fact to consider is, in the universe or in the world of ours, which is called a Laukika Vishwa, our universe, our world, the facts are never questioned. Observations are questioned. If facts are questionable, then, or statistics or information is questionable, you cannot draw conclusions. So what is questioned is the conclusion drawn. For example, Veda is studied. After studying Veda, Shankaracharya came with the conclusion that it is Advaitavada in Veda. Ramanujacharya, another stalwart, studied the same Vedas and came out with the conclusion that it is Vishishta Advaita. Madhvacharya, also another stalwart, studied the same Veda and came out with altogether completely diametrically opposite conclusion that it is Dvaitavada. What has differed is conclusion has differed, facts as indicated in Ved have not differed. Similarly, in the world also, sun rises from the east. This is a fact not disputed. Or earth revolves around the sun. This is not disputed. Because earth revolves around the sun, that is one of the reasons why we get the seasons. This is an observation. This can be questioned. This can be disputed. Now comes a very important question. The way I apply the Anuman or inferential knowledge in this world, can I apply the same methodology to know Brahma or not? It's a very critical question. All I know as a human being is the pramanas in my world. Can I apply these pramanas? My ability to apply the pramana is my buddhi. So according to my buddhi, I am able to apply these pramanas, which are, even if you call them 5 or call them as Anumana, Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Anupalabdhi, Arthapatti, all these, can I use these for knowing Brahma? That is the $1 million question. In other words, being knowledgeable in the Laukika Vishwa or the current world, am I qualified to know Brahman, or Brahma requires a different way of knowing? So far we know only 5 or 6. As per Purvam and Uttar Mimamsa, we know 6 pramanas. Can only these 6 be used, or there is something 7th which we don't have, and that is what we require? And when we don't have, how can we have it then? That means Brahma is not attainable at all. One may come to the conclusion also. Why? Because Brahma requires, Brahma Anubhava or Brahma Jnana requires a praman which is not existing in this world. Another question is, the world is anatma. World is anatma. And the knowledge you are seeking is atma. How the methodology of anatma things can be used to know the atma? Knowledge of fire is used to know water. It cannot happen. Knowledge of fire can be used to know fire only. Knowledge of fire cannot be used to know water. Or in other words, a mountain is the object of eye to see. So seeing can be done by the eye only. You can't see by ear. You can't see by ear because ear has a specific objective of hearing. Eye has a specific object of seeing. That means eye and ear cannot be interchanged for the experience. Similarly, the pramanas with which the world is ascertained, anatma world, cannot be used for Brahma. Because this is anatma and that is atma, diametrically opposite. Which means to know Brahma Jnana or to have Anubhuti of Brahma, we cannot use the pramanas that are used in this world. Pratyaksha, Anumana. Then what is the pramana? There is no pramana then for Brahma. Is Brahma a pramanya? Because all my life in this world, which is based on pramanas, is based on drawing observations and conclusions by analyzing the data coming from the objects. Vastu giving rise to some observations, I come to some conclusions. And there is also an interesting thing to note here, that in this world there can only be observations, there can never be conclusion of a fact. Fact is different, observations are different. All discoveries, all researches are observation. Lavoisier discovered oxygen. Marie Curie discovered radioactivity. What is radioactivity? She observed the radium, made some conclusions based on observations, and came to the conclusion that this is radioactivity. Radium is radioactive. Agreed. But will radium become or remain radioactive for all the time to come? Was it radioactive before time originated? These questions cannot be answered. So current state of observation leading to current conclusion applicable to sufficient length of time is what the scientist does. But he never comes to Trikala Badhita Satya or fact. Bacteria causes a disease. Mycobacterium tuberculosis causes tuberculosis, was proved by Robert Koch. Observation based on a bacteria causing a disease. But will this bacteria always cause this disease irrespective of time? And was it causing a disease even earlier when it was there or not? These are factual questions that the observer cannot answer. In the current set of condition applicable for the current considerable period of time, these are the observations based, these are the conclusions based on the observations, is what our knowledge is all about. None of our knowledges are facts. That is the reason why they keep changing. Newton's laws are the fundamental laws of physics, and gravity is the fundamental aspect of physics and all that. Till the time subatomic particles came, it was all true. And it got completely blasted out because subatomic particles came into the picture. They do not follow Newton's law. It means The observations made by pramana in this world are always or are likely to change, and that which is likely to change is not permanent, and that which is not nitya cannot be Brahma. That is why none in this world used pramanas or methodologies can be used to know the Brahma. At least that is concluded. Now, once this is true, that nothing in this world pramanas can be used to conclude Brahma, then those people who try to criticize Hindu philosophy, or even the Hindus who try to come and tell us, ye kya Brahma, Brahma laga rakha hai, there is nothing like Brahma. If it is, show me. What the stupid person is asking is asking the Laukika pramanas to be used for knowing the Brahma. Brahma Sutra Bhashya is trying to say that those pramanas cannot be used to know the Brahma. That is why the only pramana, it's that means, is it that the Brahma can never be known? When activity is to be studied, you study an object called radium and come to the conclusion about radioactivity. So that means something has to be in front to draw the observation. Otherwise, how the conclusions can be made? In Laukik Vishwa, in this particular universe, some or the other object is lying which we study and come to the conclusion. We call it research. But for Brahma, what is there lying in front? From where we study the observation of the Brahma? In Shastriya Paribhasha, it is called Lakshana, character. If you want to know about anything, you must know the character or Lakshana or Dharma of that particular thing. You want to study water. So the water has to be in front of you to study the Dharma. You boil it at 100 degrees, it boils, because I measure the temperature. When it reached 100, it started giving bubbles and started boiling. The observed thing is there. Brahma is not observable the way we observe in our Laukik or in our Vishwa. Then how do I study the Brahma? Where do I get the Lakshana or the character of the Brahma? Is it having any character, or is it characterless, or is it, what is it? Where do I study that? Because there is no object. There is nothing called Brahma to be put on the table. What do we do? That is the reason why Shabda Praman comes into the picture. Then which Shabda Pramana? Any Tom, Dick and Harry will come and say that, yes, I know Brahma, come here, I will teach you. Why do I believe him? Then we have to do a belief in Veda as the book. Why Veda Pramanya? Veda Pramanyata is the ultimate testimony to know the Brahman. Then the question comes to the mind, what if this so-called Veda is also hoax? You say it is a Paurusheya, it is ancient, it is this, it is that. What is the guarantee that these Vedas are ultimately going to give me Brahma Anubhava? Why do I believe in it? The reason why we believe in it is those who took this as a Pramanya and studied it ultimately got the Brahmanubhava and stated to us that, look, I got it, you can get it. That being the case, two things are very clear to us now. One, in this experiential world, which is called Laukika, the pramanas used cannot be applied to alaukika, because Brahma is alaukika. Why Brahma is alaukika? Laukika means that which is experienced. Lokyate bhunjate iti lokaha. Lok means to experience. Moment you say experience, there has to be an experiencer. There has to be a process of experience, and there has to be an object of experience. In other words, unless the three are present, experience is not there. And only when three are present, there is an experience that leads to the knowledge. This is our Laukika Anubhava Katha. But why should we believe that only that which comes through this set of three, Jnata, Jneya, Jnana, observer, observed, and observation, only this combination should be giving the knowledge? Why this rule? This is one method of getting knowledge, agreed, and that place where it happens is called world. But who gives you an authority to say that there is only this word in the entire thing? Is it not that this world could be a very small thing compared to a very large thing which we don't know? It is like an animal coming and saying that there is no talking because we never talk. You may not be talking. There is somebody called human being who talks, which you are not able to be aware of because your limitations are there to know the human beings and their talk. That means the Vishwa that we are in may have certain set of rules in which our knowledge process is defined. That doesn't mean out of this world, same process will be applicable. Why this insistence? That being the case, Shastra tells us that all your experiences are called Laukika because they originate in the Loka, while Brahma is Alaukika, out of the experience of the Loka. That means Brahma is not to be experienced. Why not to be experienced? Because experienced is Laukika. But the fundamental question remains, if there is no experience, then how do you know that you know? It's a very, very paradigm type of question. You cannot know Brahma. Why? Knowing is an experience. But experience-less understanding, can it be there or not? Possibility is there or not? We are hard bound by the state that we are in, that unless it is experienced, thing cannot exist. This is our conclusion in this world, which itself could be a very small speck in the entire thing. Creation itself is not a complete thing. There could be something bigger, larger than this creation, where nothing of this creation is seen or is applied. Take example of time. We cannot think out of time. Can we? Something has happened, something will happen, something is happening. We cannot think out of this hard-bound thing. Try thinking without time as a reference. It is suffocating. Try imagining nothing is existing. We cannot imagine. And that we cannot imagine cannot exist. If you say so, then what happens in the sleep? In the sleep, nothing is existing. Where do you go? We cannot even answer a question, where do we go in the sleep? Nothing is existing. And again, it exists. Because of this limitation, the Laukik Anubhava experience in this world is limited. And had Brahma been amenable to the Laukika Jnana Paddhati, we would have got the Brahma as a gooseberry in our hand and put it on the table, saying that, look, this is Brahma. We cannot, we do not, we will never be able to do that, simply because we cannot try to see through ear. Seeing is only by eye, hearing is only by ear. Ear cannot see, eye cannot hear. That amount of diametrical oppositeness is there between knowing the Brahman to Laukik or our Anatma things and Alaukik. So does that mean it's a stalemate and we will never be able to get the Brahma? You can. But for that you require certain preparation. In the Laukikata, you don't require preparation because you got an eye, you got a thing and you can see. Even to come to that, you have to evolve from the man monkey to almost to the man, from the smallest bacteria. But you have reached that state, so now you are authorized to know the world through your indriyas, because your indriyas are a vikasita. You have been given a buddhi, so now you can. So you're qualified to know the world. This qualification came to you after evolution. Similarly, you need to further evolve to know a laukika thing. And that further evolvement or further growth, so that you get the authority. Once you get that authority, once you get that authority, which in short is called as sadhana chatushta, once you become ataha, then you can do Brahma Jidnyasa. Then you can find out. You can think, discuss about Brahma and start thinking and working to get the Brahma Anubhava. But the fact still remains, in spite of all this, I must know some lakshana of Brahma, some characteristic of Brahma, something about the Brahma, so that at least I can do some jidnyasa. By your discussion, at least what doubt came in my mind, at least sandeha utpannata is there, that there may be something called Brahma. There are lots of stupid in this world. They say that, hey, Brahma kuch nahi hai. There is no Brahma here. At least we have upgraded ourselves, and not through Shraddha. Shraddha, let us keep it little aside. We are now going through reasoning, logical reasoning. At least we have come to a possibility that yes, there is a possibility of something existing which is not fathomable by the methodology used in the current world. This much conclusion we can come. So there is a possibility is called sandeha, doubt. Yeah, I doubt there could be something called Brahma. And when there is doubt, sandeha, you need to really investigate jidnyasa. That is Brahma jidnyasa. Now comes the question, for anything whose existence you doubt that it may be present, immediately the question comes to the mind, that which is likely to be present, that which may be present, what is it made up of? How does that look? How does that taste? Again, I'm using my own Laukika Anubhava methodology here. Why? I'm used to the characteristics or dharma or lakshana of every object. A fast moving, red colored, making a lot of noise, a car. I have lakshana of the car, which then I use my indriyas to ascertain, this is car. So naturally in my mind the question comes, Brahma also must be having some lakshanam. Does it have lakshana or not? Because just now you said it cannot be experienced the way you experience the things in this world. So what no, God knows, you may also say that Brahma doesn't have a lakshana. So does it have a lakshana or not lakshana? One. And second is, this Brahma that you are talking, is it related to my world or not? Is it unrelated to my world or is it related to my world? If it is related to my world, then is it the cause of my world? This is called vicharyata. The thinking has started. In that connection, the lakshana of Brahma is being discussed in the second sutra. The second sutra again, Janmadyasya yataha. 3 words. Now we understand what a sutra means. It takes hours to discuss it. Ath ataha Brahma Jidnyasa. Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. One sutra we completed by creating background of couple of lectures behind it and then discussing it in at least 1 to 1.5 lecture. Now it is coming to Brahma Lakshana. Janma Adi Asya Yataha. Janmadyasya Yataha. Janma Adi Yasya Yataha. 4 words. Each word having a meaning. What is Asya? Janma Adi Yataha. Janma Adi. Birth and. Janma Adi. Birth and means birth and something more. Janma Adi. Yasya. What is Yasya? Yasya means Pratyakshadi Pramana Siddha Jagata. Asya means this world. Instead of saying this world, only this is used. Asya. Asya, this world. Janma Adi. Asya Janmadi. Birth and of this is the sutra. Expanded meaning is birth, sustenance, dissolution of this world, yat, from which. Now the Brahma Lakshana is being told that the world which has birth, sustenance and dissolution, Utpatti Sthiti Laya, originates from yat, that is Brahma. Janma Adi Asya, yes, Asya Yat. Birth, etc. of this world originates from which is yat Brahma. So now Lakshana of Brahma is being told. Now see how each word, whether it is telling the same information or is there any difference, is the main purpose of the Bhashya. Janma Utpatti Adi Asya. Janmadi. The word Janmadi is compound, samasa. We have Sandhi. We have samasa. 2 words coming together. Janma Adi Asya. The expansion of the samas is Janma Utpatti Adi Asya. This samas, as Shankaracharya mentions in the Bhashyam, is called Tadguna Samvidnyano Bahuvrihi Samasa. There are rules of bringing words together in Sanskrit. Bringing the words together is called samasa. Broadly speaking, since we are not Vyakarana student, just to emphasize how Vyakarana is important and why it is studied before studying the Vedas, is because Janmadyasya is being discussed by Shankaracharya in terms of Bahuvrihi Samas. Tat Purush, Bahuvrihi, Dvandva and Avyayi Bhava. These are the 4 types of samasas. We will not get into the details of that. Bahuvrihi Samasa means it is a samasa in which 2 words are there, but both of them indicate a 3rd meaning. And the simplest example is Neela Kantha. Neela is blue, Kantha is the neck. Blue and neck, these are 2 different words conveying different meanings. Blue means a color, Kantha means a part of the body. But put together, they indicate Shankara. Neela Kantha, Neelaha Kantaha Yasya Saha. This is the method of saying that it is Bahuvrihi Samasa. Lambodara. Lambaha Udaraha Yasya Saha. Ganapati. Ganapati is not mentioned in that word. This samas is called Bahuvrihi. Janmadyasya is Bahuvrihi samas. Janma Adi Asya Janma adi yasya. So Janma, birth, etc. of whose. These words are not giving the ultimate meaning. The lakshan of these two words is Jagat. Neelakantha is Shankar. Neel and Kantha are indicating Shankar. Janma adi asya is indicating world. Why Janma adi means world or Jagat is being explained through Vakrana by Shankaracharya. That which is before the birth, Tadguna Samvidjnana Brahuvri Samasa, a word in which literal meaning and intended meaning both are grasped is called Tadguna Samvidjnana Bahuvri Samasa. Another example is Lamba Karna, long ears. Lamba, long, Karna, ears, long and ears. But actual meaning is donkey. The one whose ears are long is donkey. So donkey is not mentioned. Lamba Karna indicates that. Janma sthiti bhangaha samasartha. So that means janma adi asya, janmadyasya, the meaning is janma sthiti bhangaha. That means utpatti sthiti laya. Why should we take this sequence? See, to the deep extent the Brahma Sutra studies Upanishad. Why janma sthiti laya? Why not laya janma sthiti? Why not? Could be that also, because we don't know. We are born, but we are born first and then we die. Or from the death, the birth has started. From the laya, something was there before us, which was not birth. That was over and birth started. So, laya, janma, sthiti. Or it could be also that this was existing for a long time, even before time. And then in that the birth started. Sthiti, janma, laya. When you are discussing threadbare, the Purva Paksha is not going to leave you, because they will put objections one after the other. And then you cannot say that, oh, how can it be? First there has to be Janma, then only Sthiti and Laya. No, this will not work, because they will say it is your opinion, where it is in Veda, because Veda is standard. You show me in Veda first, then I will agree that there is Janma first, then Sthiti, then Laya. And that is why Acharya also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna also could not say anything. He said it is there in the Shruti. If Sri Krishna doesn't have an authority to give personal opinion, Veda Bahya, Bhagavanta doesn't have the authority. Why? Bhagavant is the creation of Veda. That is what I would say about the Vedas. Vedas are infallible. Pramanya. So you have to show in the Veda that what I am saying is there in the Veda. That is why Shankaracharya is mentioning Shruti Nirdesha Tavat Yato va bhutani imani jayante iti asmin vakye janma sthiti pralayanam kramadarsanat. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is written that Yato va bhutani imani jayante. And the whole shloka there is Yato va bhutani imani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat pratyaya abhisamvishanti. That which is born is then lives and then it dies. That means Utpatti Sthiti Laya is the krama mentioned in Taittiriya Upanishad. So Shankaracharya says, I am saying Janmadhyasya means Janma, Sthiti and Laya. Because Shankaracharya also doesn't have the liberty to give personal opinion. Vastu Vrittam api Janmana Labdha Saktakasya Dharminaha Sthiti Pralaya Sambhavat. Now you can give your own opinion after stating Shruti that even normally also you see anything that is born always dies, stays for some time and then dies. Is it not our observation that something is born, it stays for some time, then it dies? But this observation of mine is my opinion, which I am giving after pointing out that first it is given in Shruti, so this is accepted. That means Janmadyasya, this one word, what samas it is, what it means, why it means what it means, and where is the way the support is already mentioned. Now you come to asya word. Asya, which is indicating the world, the jagat. Asya iti pratyakshadi sanidha api tasya dharmin idamam nirdeshaha. Asya denotes pratyakshadi pramana siddha vastu. Pramana siddha vastu means, if you have to define the world in one statement, you have to say that there are many things, diversities, there are anatma things, there are this, there are. Instead of that, you just say a place where pramana adi are used for the knowledge. Isn't it? That's a better definition of the world. In world, you have pratyaksha, anumana, shabda pramana. Shabda pramana meaning somebody tells you that the hospital, that the hotel is open, restaurant is open, you can go there. You have not checked. You believed in that person and went to the restaurant and it was open. This is Shabda Pramana. Some respected person giving you the right information. You have faith in him, so you follow him. So Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shabda, Upamana, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi. These are 6 ways of understanding this world. Where such understanding takes place is called world. And what is the sutra telling? Janmadyasya yataha. Janmadyasya yataha means from which this birth, maintenance and dissolution, sustenance and dissolution happens. In other words, Brahma Lakshana in the second sutra is given as Brahma is that because of which this Utpatti Sthiti Laya of the world is happening. Immediately a question comes to the mind. Oh, that means Brahma is the Karan of the world. That means Brahma has Kartrutva. This should come to the mind. How the sutra can be like this, that this world is because of Brahma? This is contrary to Brahma. Brahma is Shuddha, Nitya, Akriya. It doesn't do anything. Asanga. If it is Asanga, then how the world can come from it? You're taking a contradictory stand. Either say that the world is because of Brahma, it has come from Brahma, or say that Brahma and world are completely different, they are not related. And the answer to this is, they are related. There is a sambandha in them, but the sambandha is not Janakajanya. Janakajanya means because of Brahma, world is produced from Brahma. No. Jagat is not produced from Brahma. Jagat is because of Brahma, produced from Brahma, and because of Brahma. There is a difference in this. How difference? That is where the beauty of Sanskrit grammar lies. I hope I will be able to explain this particular word properly. The word is asya. Asya is shashti. In Sanskrit, these vibhakti pratyaya are called karaka. Karaka means that indicates the sambandha. In every sentence, there is a kriya pada. The relationship of a word with the kriya pada is called karaka sambandha. Balakaha gacchati. The boy goes. Gacchati, goes, is related to balakaha. So there is a karaka, some karakas in there is a relation between these two. So Hanumanaha Sitayai Phalam Dadati. Hanuman gave fruit to Sita. Sitayai, fruit to Sita. To Sita, that means Sita is related to giving by this two. abhyasena tu gruhyate. Vairagyena tu gruhyate. Bhagavad Gita says, by vairagya, by abhyasa, trutiya vibhakti. Abhyasena, instrumental case. So this relationship is called as karta vachaka, karma vachaka. This karaka sambandha, instrumental case, sampradan, apadan, ablative case, dative case. This is a relation between the word and the kriyapad. Shashti is the only vibhakti where there is no karakata, there is only sambandham. It is called sambandha vibhakti. It is not called a karaka. It's a very small, subtle thing in Vyakarana, but the importance of Sanskrit, Vyakarana, Panini Maharaj, and this period, why Sanskrit is a great language. Janmadyasya, Janma Adi Asya. Asya is Shashti. Shashti is not Karaka, it is Sambandha. That means there is a Sambandha between the Jaga and the, but it is not Karana Karaka. See the use of those vibhakti properly. Janmadyasya. Janmadyasya. Yataha Brahma is related to Jaga, but it is neither a Karana nor instrument, nor it is ablative, that it hasn't come from it, otherwise Panchami would have been used. Brahma doesn't give the world, so otherwise Chaturthi would have been used. World is not in Brahma, otherwise Saptami would have been used. Karanakarak, Adhikarankarak. Only Shashti is used because Brahma and Jagat are related, but there is no Karakata. That is why when it is from it, then it is cause. So the actual sentence of this Janmadyasya yat will be read as, after this discussion, Asya means Asya Jagato Nama Rupabhyam Vyakrutasya, that which is expressed as Nam and Rupa, Aneka Kartru Bhoktru Sanyuktasya, that in which there are many kartas and many bhoktas, Prati Niyat Desha Kala Nimitta Kriya Falashrayasya, where Desha Kala Karan is fixed for the karma phala. This is called Jagata. What is the meaning of the word Asya? Jagata. But what is Jagata? Acharya further say, Jagato Nama Rupabhyam Vyakrutasya, the place where Nama Rupa is used, the place which has got many kartas and bhoktas, and where Desha Kala Karan is fixed for karma phala. What is the other meaning? In Brahma, that not being the Jagat, nothing of this exists there. There is no karma phala, there is no Desha Kala Nimitta, there is no Nama Rupa, there is no Karta Bhokta. So that is the meaning of Asya. What is the meaning of Yat? Yat is pointing towards Brahma. What is Yat? Manasa api chintya rachana rupasya, that which is beyond human thinking, janma sthiti bhanga yataha, that universe which birth, sustenance and dissolution, sarvajnata sarvashaktehe karanat bhavati tad brahma iti, that birth, sustenance, dissolution into that omniscient, omnipotent cause is called Brahma. So Yat indicates Brahma, Asya indicates Jagat, Asya is denominated by Janma Adi. So Janmadyasya Yat, that is the Sutra. Now comes the question, is world then Lakshana of Brahma? No. Brahma is, the world is not the Lakshana of Brahma. Jagat is not the Lakshana of Brahma. Then, does the Brahma have any Lakshana or it doesn't have any Lakshana? Does it have any character or not? Any dharma or not? Any peculiar thing that can be said about Brahma? So this sutra has a Purva Paksha which says, Lakshanam Brahmano asti kiva nasti nahi vidyate. Janmadehe anyanishtatvat cha satyadehe aprasiddhitaha. As far as Janma, Mrityu, Utpatti Sthiti Laya is concerned, Janmadehe anyanishtatvat. That is in the world. Now in Brahma this doesn't happen. There is no birth, no sustenance, no dissolution. That means this Lakshana cannot be applied to Brahma. All right. But you say Brahma is Satyam, Anantam. But Satya is here also in this world. And that Satya keeps changing. So it's not, it is aprasiddha. It is not something which is permanent. So Brahma is Satya. You're using that word Satya from our world. In our world, we call so many things Satya. What was Satya yesterday has become Asatya today. That means Janma Adi are the Lakshana of Vishwa, Jagat. Satya Adi are the Lakshanam, Satya, Asatya, etc. is the Lakshana of Jagat. How this can be applied to Brahma, and if this cannot be applied to Brahma, that means Brahma doesn't have Lakshana, and that which doesn't have Lakshana cannot exist. So Brahma is not existing. Baat khatam. This is Purva Paksha. And the Siddhanta Paksha says, no, it is not so. Strag Bhujangavat. Strag Bhujangavat means, Strag means flowers, garland of flowers. Strag. Bhujangavat, snake. A garland of flowers may appear like snake. When it appears like snake, then we say the Lakshana of that particular thing is a snake. Snake is not existing. Snake has no relation with the garland of flowers. Just because it appears to be there, appears. It is not. I feel it is there. It appears to me that it is there. So I call the flowers as Jagat and Sarpa, and the Sarp is resting actually on the true thing called garland of flowers or the rope. Similarly, Brahma and Jagat are not related. But because Jagat appears on Brahma, I have to now make a relationship between the two, saying that Jagat appears on Brahma. So they are related. They are related by no relation. Unrelated relation. Unrelated. Because I felt the snake is there, the rope and snake developed a relation. Does that mean the rope has a relation with the snake? Rope produced the snake? No, rope did not produce the snake. Rope did not produce the snake at all. Oh, that means snake is not. No, snake is there. You feel it is there. So snake, as far as feeling is concerned, it is there. Fact is that it is a rope there. But at present, because I am apprehending the snake there, the snake and rope are coexisting. Actually, there is no coexistence at all. The coexistence is there till the time rope is ascertained. Till the time rope is not ascertained. In other words, till the time Brahma Anubhav is not taken, the world will exist. You feel that you are in the world till the time Brahma Anubhav comes. Once the rope is in the hand, the thought of snake will go away forever, melted. Once the Brahma Anubhav is there, existence of the world will be completely vanishing. That is how both the Swarupa and Tatastha Lakshana of Brahma is there. But we are not able to get that because of the adhyasa that we have. As long as adhyasa is there, snake is true. Moment the adhyasa is over, rope is true. When snake is true, rope is false. When rope is true, snake is false. But when a rope is ascertained, you can also then come out and say that, yeah, it looks like snake. No, I also got frightened, but now I know it's not a snake. It looks like snake. Yes, I'm able to see a snake there, but it's not there. Exactly, the Jivan Mukta says the same thing. The world is there. I'm drinking, eating with you. I'm talking to you. I'm delivering pravachana to you, all that. But I know this is snake. It's not existing. There's no pravachan. There's no way that there's nothing. There is nothing, sir. Nothing has relevance. From which standpoint? From the rope standpoint. From the Brahma standpoint, world has not happened. Because with that which is not existing now, after spending 2 years of intense sadhana, Gurudeva came to know that it is Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. When Jagan Mithya he came to know, then he knew that this is all false. But the one who knows Brahma knows both the things simultaneously. He knows that the rope is truth and he's still able to perceive the snake, saying, and at the same time he knows that snake is not true. That is the reason why Samartha Ramdas in his couplet said, Agaje घडलेची नाही त्याची वार्ता पुसशी काही. Why are you asking me questions about that which has never happened? Gaudapada Maharaj said, I'm sorry, I cannot accept that world was ever born. The logic and philosophy behind this was this particular thing. Now then comes the question, okay, the world is because of Rupa. That means the Ishvara we call is Brahma. Now I understand. Somebody who manages, maintains, dissolves, birth, etc. is Ishvara. And now you say it is Brahma. That means Ishvara and Brahma is one and the same. This doubt may come into the mind. So Shankaracharya further continues to explore how Brahma is definitely the reason for the existence of the world, yet it is not Ishvara, because Ishvara again is also the part of that created snake only. In order to differentiate between these two, and also to differentiate between the Veda, which Veda is to be taken for Dharma and which Veda is to be taken for Brahma Anubhuti, how they are different also needs to be told right now, because we are still talking about the Pramana also. We spoke about Pramana. So this remaining balance subjects of this particular sutra we shall study in the next session. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om. We'll wait for some questions, Sanjay ji. Yeah.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji. Thanks for the in-depth explanation to this Janmadhyasya Yadha. I remember this same sutra is reflected in the Gita Dhyanam also. Janmadhyasya Yadha Anvaya, starting with.
I am not able to recollect. Maybe it is existing. I'm not recollecting.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sanjay ji. After listening this such a profound talk, there are many things occurring in the mind. first of all, I was thinking that without the language of Sanskrit, this would not have been possible. Because Asya has been described in such a depth, and you have the Vibhakti Pratyaya as detailed, explained in detail. So I was thinking at that moment, without this language, this would not have been possible for Vyasa to write this. And as we know, that is one thing, and as we all know that all our great masters had great upasanas, without which they would not have realized the Brahma, attained that highly elevated position, or they realized it. So here the question comes about sadhana. Without proper sadhana, we cannot realize this. And because in the sadhana chatushtaya, we are talking about second sadhana is, iha amutra artha bhoga. This artha bhoga, we are running after this artha bhoga. Because of that, we are still unable, after so many years efforts, still we haven't reached anywhere, continuing our journey. So that is, I think, one of the biggest obstacles in our way. But while living in this world, we need all this, artha bhoga, everything is required. So we are in a real fix, So unless we completely give up this, do you think we will be able to realize it?
Rio, this question will come. Adaka Shankaracharya already knew about it. If you read Panchakam correctly, your answer to your question is in Sadhana Panchakam itself. As we say, Sadhana Panchakam, Acharya says, whatever prarabdha has given to you, keep exhausting the prarabdha through the phala bhoga. While exhausting your prarabdha, please focus on only way everything will be done for you. Sadhana is not when you get complete vairagya and I will start my sadhana. Getting to that vairagya itself is a sadhana. Vedo nitya adhyatam. Today what we discussed, the constant karma will again put you into this kind of prarabdha which you are suffering. One, it will also embolden you to face the consequences of your past karma in much better manner. So without getting perturbed or disturbed by what is happening around you because of your past karma, you shall be able to, with determination, continue into the act, provided you do 5 things told by Shankaracharya, one of which is to receive the phalam of prarabdha with a smiling face, with a complete understanding about the world through the study of Vedas. That is why we never ask the Lord to get rid of our prarabdha. We always ask the Lord to give the strength to face the prarabdha. The strength comes from the Lord, not in the form of a sudden light or something. The strength comes from the study of scriptures. The whole outlook towards the whole thing changes. Answer to any question is nothing else but the question simplified. So that is the reason why sadhana includes a pustarka piramyatam shrutimataha tark anusandhiyatam. In Sadhana Panchakam, Shankaracharya says, Shrutimataha tarka anusandhiyatam. Keep thinking logically always about Shruti Mata, not the Laukika Jnana Mata. Don't think of engineering and medical. It will not get rid of sorrow. The only thing is Shruti Matam. So constant study. Abhyasena vairagyena cha gruhyate. So abhyas first, then vairagyam comes. We are now trying to study what is called as Paroksha Jnana Abhyas. Hari Om.
Hari Om.